Hello and welcome back to the NFP, the Nucleus for President series. On this episode, we have two segments covering the 2016-2017 presidential candidate, the Nucleus. On our first segment is an interview with the Nucleus, the Nucleolus, and their most trusted advisor.
Thanks, Dominique. So, Senator Nucleus, could you tell us all about your campaign slogan and the two people that you brought with you today?
My slogan in this campaign is, Nucleus, you're in good strands. I brought my VP and a very important member of my team.
Hi, I'm the Nucleolus, and because the nucleus and I are in a large part of plant animal cells, we represent a very large part of the cell community. My main job is to assemble ribosomal subunits that form proteins and ribosomal RNA, which is rRNA. I send the subunits out to the cell where they combine to make ribosomes, and since ribosomes make proteins, I pretty much play a vital role in making proteins in the cell, so pretty important.
Hi, I'm a chromosome. I contain most, if not all, genetic material in organisms. The DNA is contained within a long series of nucleotides that are organized into genes. I also have chromosomal proteins that help aid the DNA undergo different functions such as replication.
Senator Nucleus, could you give us maybe 3 good reasons as to why we should vote you president of the cell?
Yeah.
Alright, listen. I don't play. As president of the United States of Cells, number 1, I will protect the DNA and separate the DNA processes, which will allow the other organelles to run more efficiently. Number 2, since I contain DNA, I house all the sets of instructions for the cell, making me the control center of the cell. How can you run something without instructions? Anyways, and finally, I make proteins that control metabolism, which maintains the living cells and the organisms. To my supporters, I am known as the brain of the cells. Because I have an impact on all of the cell organelles. I set the basis for the cell's activity and growth. Without me, other organelles wouldn't run properly. You need me. You need me.
Wow, well, it really sounds like you do a lot for the cells. So, good luck to you in your election, and thank you all for letting me
Anyways, vote for me. Do not forget to vote for me. Y'all will be screwed if you don't vote for me. Vote. Vote.
Back to you, Dominique.
Vote.
That was a great interview. Our next segment will be about the next 3 closest candidates that are also running for president and some stuff that you may or may not know about them. Chloroplasts, the cell wall, and lysosomes are still behind the nucleus by a decent amount. But for those who are voting for them, think about these compelling stories and if these are the organelles you want to represent our country.
My mommy wanted to get some chloroplasts, and she wanted them real bad, but they told her that she couldn't get the chloroplasts because she was in a plant cell, and she was so sad, and I just don't know why the chloroplasts have to be so mean to my mommy like that.
What's wrong with that?
Security! Get her off the set, please! That's terrible. Why would we vote for someone who won't represent all the organisms in some way? Chloroplasts are extremely discriminatory towards animal cells, which is rude and uncalled for.
My sister Daisy, well, she once had a cell wall until it mutated and caused her all these kind of problems. Now she's got to stay inside an enclosed area all day long because she's susceptible to all these diseases. Poor child. After the horrible event, she was never the same. Cell wall, it's fake.
That's just one of the many ways the cell wall can let us down. At first, the cell wall is great, but if it gets mutated, it will forever alter the lives of plants. We can't take that type of chance on our nation. Not to mention, it limits the size of our cells and immigration.
Okay, when my great aunt died, we were supposed to have an open casket funeral, but those pesky and petty lysosomes broke down the cells in her body before we could have it done. The lysosomes robbed my family. They hurt us. They played us. So, we don't like the lysosomes. Something I'm never going to forgive them for.
There you have it, folks. Lysomes robbed that poor family of a memorable funeral. Why would he vote for a president who doesn't care enough to mourn the loss of a loved one?
Can I get an amen?
Amen. That's all we have for today on this episode of NFP. Don't forget to vote in the 2016-2017 presidential election. And remember, with Nucleus, you're always in good strands.
Yeah, you better vote for me. Quick lane.